yesterday, one of the gold medals for Canada, right on the top of the podium, Amanda Chudoba in the women's trap shooting, who was up early with me this morning in the studio, and great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
And to see you with that beautiful gold medal around your neck.
Yes.
Hold that up. How does that feel?
Feels great, yeah.
It's heavier than the shell, but not as much as the gun.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. They're beautiful medals.
They really are. Well, you wear that proudly because you deserve it.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be gold medalist?
It feels surreal right now. I don't think it really has set in yet.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this will help, because watch with me on the screen.
Okay.
We're going to go through your competition yesterday,
okay,
because
perfect.
you couldn't have won that gold medal in more dramatic fashion.
I know.
In a shoot, nothing easy, huh?
No,
Tell us about
easy.
how it went. Well, we'll take a look at some of these, but in general, you were shooting really well on the day, weren't you?
I struggled a couple rounds, and I was a little frustrated with it, but going into the final, I knew if I made it to the finals were my game. It's kind of what I trained properly, or most, so I was looking forward to the final.
Well, you're looking forward to that moment,
yes.
too. But we'll go back. I think we can go back in the visuals to see, because you ended up in a shootout against your American competitor, Kaylee Browning,
yeah.
and she did very well right through. You missed 3 of your last 5 shots, didn't you?
I did. The pressure got to me a little bit.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Well, like, what was going through your mind?
Well, I was 3 ahead going into my last 2 passes, so all I had to do was shoot, I think, 3 of them, and I would have had the gold. But when the last target came out and it was a straightaway, I was like, anything but a straightaway would have been great, because I had struggled on them all day. But it was all right. The shootout came up, and I ended up being able to get my targets that I wanted, and I ended up hitting them both.
And you did. So when you hit that last target and you won,
I could finally breathe.
You could breathe at the end.
Yeah.
I guess so. Because you're obviously stock still, aren't you?
Yeah.
What is the secret for you for excellent shooting?
Basically, your mindset that when you come out there is see the target, hit the target. When the target comes out, you just essentially, where your eyes go is where the gun goes. So as long as your mount and everything up to that point is set, then essentially, if you see the target coming out, you're most likely going to hit it.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I have good friends who are very good trap shooters, and one of them told me that he has to be mad on the day, like he's just got to be just sort of focused on the day, but almost angry to shoot really well. I mean, do you like to be relaxed, or do you like happy, or I don't know?
I just find that I like to I zone in more when there's competition, like when it is competition, as opposed to my practicing. I always get frustrated because I don't always shoot the best in practice, and then I come out on the day and end up pulling through. So,
well, you see, that's what you want to do. You want to be ready for the moment.
All the good rounds in the practice.
Exactly right. Yeah. Your story. Tell me a little bit about how you got into shooting, because many of the members of the team. It's been part of a family tradition. We were looking at the weightlifting Santovy family, a couple of generations. That was your case too, wasn't it?
Yes. My grandfather and my great uncles on my mom's side have always shot, and they got my dad and my mom into it. And when I was 11, I started shooting amateurly across Canada. And then I went to the Olympic side of it, international side of it, about 8 years ago. I've won 5 Canadian titles in the last 5 years, hoping for 6 next month, and then I got my husband into it as well. So
because if you're going to spend that much time doing something, you might as well share that together.
He got sick of watching me, so he decided to compete against me.
That's terrific. Can you talk? I want to talk about the future in a second, but I just want to talk about the venue, because where you were shooting, the trap club where you were shooting, has had a multi-million-dollar refurbishment just for these games, and it's part of the legacy of the Pan Am Games. This is going to be in Innisfil, this incredible trap and skeet shooting facility. What did you think of it?
It was great. Yeah, it was a great facility. Targets are extremely tough, as you can see by the scores. Yeah. Compared to last Pan Am Games, the scores were a little lower because it's a tough field to shoot on. But the people working at the facility and getting the facility ready did an awesome job.
Looks very nice.
Yeah, it's
look at that.
State of the art. It's the only one in Canada that we have. So like that.
So you can train there for what is to come. You mentioned the Canadians coming up. Yeah. That gold medal in your sport represents a direct qualifier for Rio. Yes. So someone for the Canadian women's trap shooting gets to go to Rio, but that doesn't necessarily mean you, right?
No, it doesn't. No, we will have a qualifier next summer, just before the games, in order to determine who will go. So those that make the national team this year will be able to qualify for next year.
For that. They didn't make the team in 2012. The Canadian team didn't go to London, so I know there's going to be a lot of excitement to be going to Rio. And what do you do between now and then to make sure you're the one who gets to go?
Essentially, all I can do is just keep my training up and just hope for the best. It's essentially who comes out the day that we have the qualifiers. So,
well, apparently it doesn't matter what you do in practice. You're a woman who lives for the moment.
Yes, hopefully. I hope it comes through.
It turned out so well for you yesterday. Thank you for coming in with the medal to tell us all about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Amanda Chudoba, gold medalist in these Pan Am Games.
Thanks.